Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring Land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer!
Hello,
right.
Boring Review Nation!
Kind of pointless.
We know all things. Hello, Boring Review Nation! Gabe. And I'm here today to bring you a solo review for a film I just happened to stumble upon the other day. Now, full disclosure, this is not a Patreon request. I'm just trying to hold down the ship while Nick is in transition and moving. And we've been really busy. We've missed him on the channel. Much love, Nick. Much love. Boring Reviews needs you. I told you before, you are Boring Reviews. But anyway, normally Nick likes to stick to our Patreon list. He makes sure everything is organized, what we're going to review and what we're going to react to. I was just flipping through Hotstar and happened to find a film that I wanted to watch because it stars one of my favorite actors, Nawaz. Yes, Nawazuddin Siddiqui, to me, is a national treasure. I've said this many times on this channel right here, guys. I put the guy up there, not with just Amir Khan as the best actors in Bollywood, but I mean, we're talking about period. He makes the top 10 list in America, okay? Top 5 bad guys of all time. I love this guy's performance. I love the way he portrays that villain character. To me, he's up there with the Joaquin Phoenix performance in recently in Joker. He's up there with Heath Ledger's performance as Joker as well. That's why I'm wearing my Joker t-shirt. On the thumbnail, I have my little Joker mask, you know what I mean? I'm a huge fan of Joker. I just love those dark characters, you know what I mean? And man, I fell in love with Nawaz when I remember I was clowning him at first because I was like, this guy looks super soft. And he was in the movie Gangs of Wasseypur. Holy cow, was I wrong. This guy's a soldier. I was calling him Fredo from the Godfather, like the weak link, you know what I mean? And in the first part, he was kind of the weak link, but he shows you in Gangs of Wasseypur 2 that he is a dog. Continued watching his work in Sacred Games and other films. Matter of fact, they interviewed Nawaz and they asked him, you play a bad guy so well, would you ever consider doing and I think OSR actually reviewed him, interviewed him, I should say. Would you ever consider doing playing a dark role like Joker? He said, I have, man. I did Raman Raghav 2.0. That thing was disturbing. I had to watch it, ran out, watch it. One of my favorite films. I mean, the darkness he's able to embody. It's the kind of thing where you're walking down the street and you're going to want to cross the street, cousin, because this guy means business. All right. Oh, Nawaz, you're a national treasure. Hats off to you, my friend. With that being said, I was flipping through Hotstar and I stumbled across this film and it's called Monsoon Shoot. Now, if some of you guys don't know that film, it's probably because it didn't get as much love as other films. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know what the reviewers were thinking. As I'm going through the IMDb page to get the names and the director and all that stuff, I'm looking at 3 out of 5 stars, 3.5. The highest I think it got was like a 4. I'm like, are these reviewers crazy? What are they thinking about? Sometimes I never agreed with Siskel and Ebert. Those were the very big guys that back in the day in America used to review all kinds of films. The films they loved, I thought were absolute trash. And the ones that they hated, I loved, okay? And I always feel like my opinion was closer to the masses. Those were the movies that were successful. Not to say being successful at the box office is the end-all be-all, but, I don't understand how some of these quote-unquote critics give us their opinions, and you're like, really? That makes no sense. Case in point, the biggest, most recent tragedy I can think of in American film is Green Book winning the Oscar. How did Green Book win the Oscar when it went up against Black Panther? Was a generational film, all right? A billion-dollar film. That thing broke records. It went up against Spike Lee's Black Klansman, which was also better. It went up against Bohemian. I would have took Bohemian Rhapsody ahead of that, okay? Like, I don't get it. Green Book won. How many people here saw Green Book? I'll wait. Let me know in the comments. Stop it. But it won the Oscar. And I think sometimes critics want to just, be too outside the box and look too much for the artistic. What's a good film? Bottom line. And if you just want to talk about a good film, this is a good film. Again, this stars Nawazuddin Siddiqui. You also have Neeraj Kabi from Kabi. He's been in Sacred Game with Nawaz. He was also in the most recent Patel Lock, which Nick and I did. He plays a news reporter there. And here he plays the old grizzled cop, kind of corrupt cop. Perfect role for him. And also Vijay Varma. Now, Vijay Varma, you know, Nick loves Vijay Varma. He's loved him ever since Gully Boy. He gushes about him. I never thought he was, you know, that special of an actor. But again, different strokes for different folks, you know. I will say he was amazing in this film. I now see what Nick saw, because this was an acting role. Normally, whenever I start reviewing a Nawaz film, I'm just gushing about Nawaz. And I'm like, yeah, he carried the film, whatever. Even the films I didn't like as much. No, VJ bought it in this. I mean, honestly, I don't know who was better. And I don't say that often. I don't know who was better, Nawaz or VJ. They both were outstanding in these roles. And again, the supporting cast with Neeraj, he was awesome as well. I don't get what these critics did not get about this film. The direction of this film was also awesome, okay? I'm going to give you guys a quick synopsis of the film because I don't want to ruin it. You have to see it. But it was directed by Amit Kumar. He also wrote the screenplay. And I tell you what, I'm going to try to sum it up like Nick does his quick 5-minute reviews, all right? You got a rookie cop who comes into the force, right? And again, he's in Mumbai, so, you know, there's a lot of crime there. And on his very first day with the grizzly veteran police officer, Neeraj, they're taking down this local gangs or whatever who try to commit a crime. They did commit a crime, and it was actually Nawaz, we found out later, who was this hatchet man that, you know, hacked this guy up in a car, and they find his accomplices. So they're gonna go take him out, and the new rookie cop wants to arrest him, and Neeraj is like, arrest him for what? We don't got evidence, this and that, you know, let him go. So they're running. He says, they're getting away. He says, stop them. No. The rookie cop is just standing there like, you're letting these guys go? So Neeraj said, well, you got a gun, go ahead and stop them. And the rookie cop looks at him like, what do you mean stop him? He thinks it's a test. I can only imagine what a rookie cop is thinking at this time. It reminds me of kind of like Training Day, you know, where you got the old grizzly veteran and Denzel Washington with the younger cop showing them the ropes, showing them the realities of the job. And then Neeraj himself, who again, he plays Khan in the film, pulls out his gun and shoots him in the back, kills both of them. Then they end up setting up the scene. And basically, when it's all said and done, they set these guys up. They knew they were guilty. They couldn't prove it. So as cops, he did what he had to do. Again, dirty cop here, but he's all about the ends justify the means. We're talking about Neeraj. Now, obviously, this is unsettling to a young rookie cop. First day on the job, they catch up to Nawaz's character, and Nawaz ends up playing Shiva. So when they're tracing Shiva, he tracks down Shiva to an alleyway, and it's just this rookie cop, Vijay Varma. His name is Adi in the film, Adi. And he's got him at gunpoint. So right here is where the movie gets interesting. I love the direction of this. Earlier, when Adib, Vijay Varma's character, is having a conversation with his mother before he goes for his first day of work, his mom tells him, you know, every police officer has 3 choices, 3 paths they can take. The right one, the wrong one, and the one in the middle. So right now, he has this guy in the alleyway. He's unarmed. He's just trying to climb up a wall. He's got the drop on him because he's got the gun to his back. They're about 15, 20 feet away from each other, and he says, stop, police. So now, does he shoot him? Does he let him go? Or does he hesitate? Okay, what's right? What's wrong? What's in the middle? So the first thing we do is the story plays out. What would have happened if he shot him right away, right? You shoot him right away. What happens is Nawaz ends up getting shot. He chases him down. He catches him. Nawaz spills the beans. Come to find out that there's some other corruption stuff going on because Nawaz is actually working for somebody else. That ends up getting, you know, Nawaz ends up dying, I should say. And I mean, it gets it's so, I can't ruin it for you guys, man. But basically, if you shoot him and kill him, what that path leads to. He ends up, you know, going down a dark path there, and then ultimately it leads to his demotion, which is not what he wanted to as a police officer. That was the first path if he shoots him. What if he doesn't shoot him? He hesitates. He lets him go. So he shoots he hesitates, he lets him go. Come to find out, Nawaz was the killer in this version of it. By letting him go, you let Nawaz run free to kill other people. You end up getting demoted for that as well. So that's also not the right path. So he's already chosen 2 paths. And then you got the 3rd path, which when he just shoots Nawaz in the leg, he wounds him but doesn't kill him. Nawaz turns into an informant. He turns into a snitch. He gives it up, dimes it up, but then you realize that even the cops are corrupt here, and they're actually trying not to have Nawaz testify because Nawaz is working for this big local dealer. This guy is a boss that controls the area, and he's got the cops in his pocket, and sadly that does not end up well for him. And I think that especially in today's age, when we have all this conversation about defund the police and Black Lives Matter, and I gotta say, my opinion here is very, 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 very swayed because half of my family is in law enforcement, okay? I was just gonna be in law enforcement before I became an educator myself. But the point is, it's not that simple, okay? Defunding the police is not the answer. If anything, it's more funding. Because a lot of time it's a lack of training and a lack of funds that leads to bad policing. Same thing goes for, like, think about it. You know, you're asked to risk your life for $45K a year, $50K a year as a starting police officer. A lot of people unless you're passionate about it because it's in your family, okay, you're not going to take that job. So people that are highly qualified for that job will go somewhere else because the pay is so low. If you started at a higher pay, you're going to get a higher quality of cadet and recruit. Started off at 60 grand, 100 grand. You know what I'm saying? These guys are there to serve and protect. They protect our well-being. They protect our property. They protect our lives. How can we put such a low price on that? Then you wonder why there's police corruption. Again, it's such a muddy thing. You know what I mean? And again, I myself am a person of color. So am I saying that I do not support the Black Lives Matter protest? Absolutely not. I support it 100%. What I am saying, though, is that defunding police is not the answer. You need to restructure the police, and there's got to be many reforms there. All right, went off on my tangent. My point is, in this film, you see that this kid is put in a situation that's impossible. Literally, every decision he makes as a rookie cop ends up in his demise. You know what I mean? He ends up getting demoted. It ends up playing out really poorly for him. And that's what I love about this film. It looked at the 3 different aspects of how this rookie cop is going to handle this situation. Vijay Varma does an unbelievable job. Now, I'm Mr. Spoiler, and I'm trying not to spoil this film because I believe you have to see it to understand it. But please watch this film. Give it a chance. I'm telling you. Nawaz, as usual, is unhinged, but Vijay Varma's performance here is absolutely amazing. It really touches, especially today, maybe because this was released so long ago, police brutality and corruption wasn't on the forefront of people's mind. But today, in today's age, with what's going on right now, this is a very important film because you see the plight that police officers are put under, okay? Do I pull the trigger? Do I not pull the trigger? It's a split-second decision sometimes, and it could cost them their life if they don't pull the trigger. So I understand that, okay? And you know, it's one of those situations where you have to really think about what those officers are facing out there day in and day out. But man, Monsoon Shootout, okay, if I haven't already given away my grade by how I'm gushing about this film, this is an absolute A. This is an A. I love this film. The director did an unbelievable job. His vision, the storytelling was great. Again, Vijay Varma, I don't know who did a better job, honestly. Between Vijay Varma and Nawaz, and this is probably the first time I'm saying it, normally Nawaz, any film he's in, he's a scene stealer. He steals every single scene. I don't know, man. Vijay Varma was there toe for toe with him in this film and put on an unbelievable performance. You have got to watch this film. Please let me know in the comments if you've already seen it, what you think about this film. Am I wrong? Am I just, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you guys can tell me why I got such a low score on IMDb, on its IMDb page from some of the critics. But, guys, that's my review for Monsoon Shootout. Thank you for hanging out with me. And let us know in the comments what you think. Give us some more suggestions. Again, Nick's getting to it. Once again, I want to thank all our Patreons. Don't worry, your requests are coming up soon. Please give me a big thumbs up and a like if you like this video. It really helps the channel. And as usual, we know all things.